What's the dumbest reason you've ever been kicked out of somewhere? I still can't believe I got thrown out of a restaurant just for asking for extra napkins. We were in the middle of a long road trip, passing the same gas stations and fading signs for what felt like hours, when we finally saw a small diner off the highway and decided to stop. It wasn't anything fancy, but it looked clean and quiet. Good enough for a quick bite. Inside, there were only a few people. A couple drinking coffee in the corner, a guy on his phone, and a group of elders discussing something. The waitress didn't greet us or smile. She just dropped the menus on the table and walked away. I ordered hot wings, and my friend went with a cheeseburger. The food came out fast and looked fine, but my wings were completely soaked in sauce. I picked one up, and the sauce immediately covered my hands. It got under my nails and even smudged my phone screen. And for all that, they gave me just one napkin, tightly folded, and it tore as I opened it. I could only wipe 2 fingers, and that was it. I looked around hoping there'd be extras on the table, but there was no napkin holder. Nothing. So when the waitress walked by, I asked politely, "Hey, could I get a couple more napkins?" She stopped and stared at me like I'd asked for something outrageous and said, "You already got one." I smiled, thinking maybe she was joking. "Yeah, I know. I just need a few more. These wings are actually really good." She didn't respond, just gave a small shake of her head and kept walking. A few minutes later, this guy walked out from the kitchen. Looked like the manager or maybe the owner. He walked straight to our table and said, "What's going on here?" I said, "Nothing. I just asked for a few more napkins." His tone shifted instantly. "This isn't one of those big city spots. People around here don't waste paper just because their fingers got dirty." I said I wasn't trying to waste anything, just trying to keep my hands clean. He looked down at my plate like ordering wings had been a mistake. Then he said, "You people come in and take stacks of napkins. We have restrooms and water for people who actually need to clean themselves." I said, "Hold on, you people? What's that supposed to mean? We just asked for some extra napkins. I can pay for that." He leaned in a little and said, "It's not about the money, it's about the principle." Then he looked at my hands and raised his voice so everyone could hear. "This is not how decent people eat. You come in here asking for more than you're given and make a mess." The whole place went quiet. I looked around and saw that everyone was watching us now. I looked back at him and said, "I haven't spilled anything. I just asked for napkins. Your wings are impossible to eat cleanly," he said. "We serve people who respect the environment. If you waste that many napkins, maybe you shouldn't eat with your hands." Then, just to make a point, he pulled a napkin from his apron, held it up and said, "This is for emergencies only." I said, "I think this is the one." He said, "That's not my problem." And then, without another word, he reached across the table and slid my plate away from me. I still had 4 wings left. My friend and I just sat there, completely shocked. People around us had started staring. Some giggled. A few whispered like they were trying to figure out where we were from. My friend had already put down his burger and crossed his arms. Without even looking at me, he said, "We should go." I used the edge of the receipt to wipe off what I could, left the rest of the food untouched, paid the full bill in cash, and we walked out. The man stood behind the counter, just watching us leave like we'd committed a federal crime. And in the car, my friend looked over and said, "Next time we should carry our own napkins," and we just started laughing.